Kyle. Kyle, right?
Kyle?
Tommy. Wow.
My name's Kyle now.
Tommy.
Yo, what's up? We're here with Kyle.
That's your cool title, Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your cool title.
I feel terrible. Okay.
Expert.
I didn't stop
Kyle,
dancing
Tommy,
myself.
Sophia, Kate.
Can that be my alter ego?
It's Kyle.
Hey, it's me, Kyle, the demolitions expert.
Kyle is just Kyle. He doesn't get a title.
That's the title. Tommy.
I'm the crazy one.
He's all thrown off now.
Right?
What do I make of this?
Who am I now?
Can I just be the wild card? I'll be like Charlie, and It's Always Sunny. That's
Wait,
me.
you should just get a different name every single time.
So Byron,
Wait,
Samantha, tell me.
So Derek.
you have to make it a real like Tim and Eric.
I think sometimes we just forget that we're still human beings. Yeah, I think it's important that everyone should know their status. Knowing your status is the first step to really kind of having that conversation. I think it's important we learn how to tackle stigma and get rid of it. I think it's such an extremely amazing thing that I get to do this every day and meet such great people and learn their story and share some of their story with the people that watch us every day. To remember to stay hopeful in victory.
Welcome back, guys. I'm here. This is Dusty Lion. I corrected myself because I didn't say this is Dusty Lion. My name is Dusty Lion, also known as Dion. I just go by the alias Dusty. So that's like my little shebang name for my YouTube channel.
Love
Is it
it.
because she's dusty? That's usually, not the best thing to
Well, they
call
don't even know
someone.
that. It's just me. It's me. It's my secret. See?
Okay.
Let's go ahead and cut right to it. I'm going to let my beautiful panel here go ahead and introduce themselves to you guys as well as myself.
Hi, I'm Kate Donaldson. I'm a sexuality educator here at McKinley Health Center at the University of Illinois at Urbana. So I'm a sexuality educator here, so that looks different every single day. We have a huge peer education group, which I'm going to let Sophia talk about in just a sec. We have lots of different outreach and education, so everything from guest lecturing on campus to different sexuality topics to tabling at a health fair or quad day that we do here on campus. To seeing students one-on-one. So if they have questions or concerns about sexual functioning or dysfunctioning, communication with their partner, newly diagnosed STI, I'm just kind of a support person, a person to field questions for students one-on-one.
Awesome. And by the way, guys, Kate, I think she said you started here in October, correct?
4 months ago. Well, yeah, 4 months ago.
How are you liking your job, by the way?
I love it.
Yeah.
Super happy to be here. Not happy to be in Illinois, but happy to be on campus.
Yeah.
From Michigan? It's worse than Michigan?
Yes,
Is
Michigan
it really?
is amazing. Yes.
I feel like it'd be so much
I live
snow up
like
there.
well, there is snow, but I lived like 5 miles from Lake Michigan, and so you were just at the beach every day after work.
Oh, that sounds nice.
There's a little less cornfields.
Sand is not good. It's like Anakin Skywalker says in Star Wars Episode 1. I hate sand. It's rough and coarse and it gets everywhere.
Sand is good for the soul.
Uh,
Not the physical.
It's good for the feet, soul.
Like the SOLE, soul.
Wordplay there, wordplay. Yeah, thank you. Sophia, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I'm Sophia, so I'm the president of Sexual Health Peers, which is the peer education group here on campus under the Sexual Health and Peer Education wing of McKinley. And what that means is that we are a registered student organization officially affiliated with the health center on campus. So we do teach medically accurate information. We help connect students with resources, such as getting tested at McKinley, or if they need to talk to Kate for a one-on-one consultation, maybe see the Women's Health Resources Center. We can direct students there, but the thing we are definitely most famous for and have made a little bit of a name for
Is
ourselves
it the dildos?
It is the dildos. Because
I'm famous for that one.
everybody loves the dildos. Is the workshops that we teach, which can range from discussing safe sex, improving your own sex life as far as masturbation or things that you can do with your partner, more open communication, non-sexual ways of expressing affection or intimacy without penetrative sex, things like that.
Absolutely.
Now, I don't know his name, but he's very cute. What's your name, good sir?
My name is Tommy Tatro, and I am a member of Sexual Health Peers, and I'm here because, well, first of all, I took my wonderful because she's the real star here. I'm like the more second string person. I don't even have a cool title in sexual health peers. I mean, maybe you guys can make me like a demolitions expert. That one's gonna get blurred out, but they're still gonna hear it.
It'll be cut. We'll get to go back and laugh at it. How about that?
Okay, that's
I
fair.
like
That's
that.
fair.
We should have an outtakes and then a McKinley version. Just
I like that. That could be like a
So then we can-
blooper.
Let's go ahead and start you off right, and let me just get myself out this chair and get you dabbing that coffee. Bing!
Me too.
Sorry.
Yes! So welcome back, guys. This is Hopeful and Victory channel, or Hopeful and Victory Talks. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click that button down there. Sorry about the blur. You can't see my hand. It's over here. Like, it should be over there, right? Yeah, the little button's down there. Click the little bell to subscribe, and you can see when I'm posting every day. I also have my Facebook channel, my Facebook page at Hopeful and Victory Talks, and I'm also on Instagram because I'm hip like that. But today, I am here in U of I, and I'm with this awesome panel of Kate, Sophia, and
Jeremy.
Hey, it's me, Jeremy. By the way, smash that hecking like button. Smash that hecking like button. Smash that hecking like button.
I'm here at U of I McKinley Health Center, where we're going to talk about how they meet the needs of their students, as well as students who are HIV positive, students who may not know enough about sex, students who may know a lot about sex, and some students who are just curious. So let's go ahead and start off with kind of what are the different ways you kind of tackle your students' needs. Like, say, if I am HIV positive, but what if I was a student? Like, what can I expect from the center to kind of meet the needs that I have?
I think one of our biggest goals is making sure students know we're here. So they know that we have a sexual health program here at McKinley with lots of different free services, from STI and HIV testing to free condoms, latex barriers, lube. All of that is free at our health center to students. And then if they do have questions, that they know that they have somebody that they can ask, because so often students are looking for information from friends, or from unreliable resources, maybe that aren't the best, not to say that they can't be a support system, but maybe not the best place for medically accurate and current information. And so making sure that either through peer education or if they come here directly to the health center, that we're here for them and that we're a resource.
And that's why I have them here with me, because I can only talk about my experiences and being of HIV positive black man, but when it comes to just general health, I just started this, guys. So that's why I'm going out and reaching out to different resources such as these great people to talk about that. I do have my little slip over here. This is my cheat sheet because we like that over here. I like to talk about the outreach in the community as well as here on the campus. So what are the different programs you have when it comes to outreach?
I find that one of the most fulfilling things that we can do is interact directly with students. That's why I love sexual health peers so much. That's why I love teaching workshops. I'm always at every event. I'm always here trying to, improve us, get more students aware. Really what my goal is just to open up a dialogue, a conversation, not even necessarily with us, but just on campus, among people, students, among themselves, feeling more comfortable talking about sexuality in any capacity, not just, masturbation and sex, but just understanding that humans have sex and that there are biological things that you need to attend to, such as, whether or not you have an STI, not being afraid to go get tested, not being afraid to talk to a partner about getting tested, really trying to shed the stigma associated with a lot of sexual things and acts.
I think through our outreach, whether it's through McKinley Health Center or through the sexual health peers, is often one of the first times that people have had the conversations that we have in a group setting. And so it's almost like practice, right? Like they can talk about or think about things about themselves or the information that we're sharing in a safe space, and then be empowered to use that, whether that's going to get testing, whether that's talking to their friends or family and kind of keeping that conversation going. But a lot of times it's the conversations that we're having with students, it's often a first time. It's a first. So
I know there has to be some challenges to that too, because what if you have someone who doesn't necessarily feel comfortable talking about sex, and maybe in a group environment? So how do you kind of tackle the challenges that come with outreach and having people have that conversation about sex?
One of the strengths and advantages of the workshops that we teach is that we only go where we're requested. So a lot of times, if that's a dorm, only people that are interested in talking about sexuality are going to show up. Or if we do happen to go teach a class, usually it's a human sexuality class. So obviously, if you registered for the class, you're somewhat interested in talking about it. And I do find that when we do go places where it's kind of a mandatory thing, like sororities or fraternities, they can be a little hesitant to be open and not treat it as a joke. But I do think that just by really embodying a sex positive persona, not that I'm not sex positive, but really living that and talking that and being very open and honest and not afraid to say things like masturbation may be, very pleasurable for you. That can be, it can make students a lot more comfortable, just understanding that I'm not there to tell them not to have sex, and being clearly somebody that's open and positive and willing to listen to them and, be a peer, be somebody that they can interact with in a positive way, that they don't feel like they're being lectured. That's always our goal.
I think the coolest thing too is even as the person in the professional position, like still learning, like I'm still learning every single day, not like new research, but also the way that student voice is changing, the like hot topics of concern are changing. So just we're human too, and we're learning just as they are, and like Sophia said, our workshops are always changing. So even though we have some coined workshops that we like do typically, every single workshop is, and tabling and outreach event, like they're unique based on the audiences and the people that are participating.
And things that we always get giggles and questions about are like pegging, rimming, things like that. But I think it's great that people are getting exposed to it, even if they do laugh, because now they're understanding that that is something that people do engage in, and maybe they're laughing a little bit on the outside, but on the inside, they're like, oh, I get in on that strap-on action, Yeah. So we talk about risk, reducing risk. I always try to promote the services that we have in a subtle way.
Here's some prevention.
Yeah, I always recommend getting tested and talk about my personal experiences getting tested, just so that they feel comfortable knowing that I'm a student too, and that I've been where they are. I understand what it's like having to go and sit in the waiting room and sign up for the thing.
All that anxiety and
thoughts.
And
I hate getting my blood drawn, so I always make sure to add the lady that draws your blood at McKinley. Shout out to her. She's awesome. She's so fast.
Shout out to you, homegirl.
Yeah, whatever her name is, she's great. And I also always give a warning that they're going to ask you if it's okay to test you for HIV, because legally they have to ask you. And I think, whether or not that's a good or bad thing as far as health policy, those are all things that can bring a lot of concern. So I just try to address people's worries as I can expect them to come, and do my best to assuage people's concerns.
Now, when you have, kind of not to go too much off topic from outreach in the community, but when you have someone who comes into your office and they get their blood drawn, they found out that they may be HIV positive, or they may have an STD, they found out that they have herpes. How was that addressed? Is there like a certain strategy that the office, I know you guys are in a different part in the facility, but when it comes into play, like what are the different strategies that you try to execute when that happens?
So we're fortunate that at McKinley Health Center that we can, if there's treatment available or the STI can be cured, we can provide medication to either treat or cure the STI. And normally they can fill almost all medications right here at McKinley. So it's kind of a one-stop shop. They can come in, get tested, get results, and receive treatment or cure or medication to cure their STI. If it's maybe a viral STI that they're going to have as like lung disease, like HIV, they could refer. So they could refer to me. They could refer to other organizations in the community. So there's lots of amazing organizations here doing great work that have different group support. Again, individual like counseling one-on-one if they need continued counseling to kind of figure out their journey of living a healthy life with their STI. Whether that's, again, emotionally, socially, sexually, the circumstances that they may be overcoming. So yeah, I would say we're a one-stop shop for kind of treatment and medication and some support, and if they're looking for greater support, we would probably refer to some of the
Can direct them in the...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So are you able to like kind of allow students to, give them a prescription to a certain medication and then you then supply it to them? Is that for all medicine, or is it just for specific ones based on their diagnosis?
So it would be kind of based on their diagnosis. We have some limitations due to cost because we don't, everything's paid through a health service fee. There's a lot of technicalities of billing.
Moving gears,
yeah. But we do have almost a like full, almost like what you would consider at Walgreens or like a commercialized pharmacy. We have that here. We have a full pharmacy. So things like antibiotics, antifungal, things like that are all available here for very low cost or free. We do have some limitations around like PrEP, which we're working through. So right now we can write a prescription for a student and then we refer them to the Walgreens down the street, which we recognize as a barrier. Again, we're working through our what did you refer to? Circling gears.
Yeah, the moving
billing
gears.
and moving gears of billing and some of the limitations that we have of like how things work here at McKinley. But really any kind of medication support and continued treatment is available here to students. Okay, and understandable, and that there's people here to support you, whether that's here at McKinley, whether that's family, friends in the community. Because whether it's HIV, whether it's bacterial vaginosis, right? Like it's hard to deal with because of stigma.
Is one we talked
hormone
about.
therapy,
Yeah.
It's messy. It's complicated. It's always changing. And so trying to normalize that. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help, or don't be afraid to tell your story and help impact the people around you.
And that's what I thought was really, really amazing what you said, Sophia, is when you brought up the normalization, kind of having that conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of wanted to dig on that a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, as far as, you say you're the president. No, I was going to say, like, you say you're the president. You are the president.
She only claims. Just wait until the coup happens. She's president then.
You heard him first. He said it first. We got to be there. We got to support her. But,
I deserve my place.
But I wanted to kind of talk about how do you kind of take that hat off and can have that conversation if maybe a friend or maybe someone who is random and they're just kind of like, okay, I feel like because she doesn't know who I am, there's sort of a discreetness to it. How do you kind of start that conversation with someone?
Yeah, I guess one of my strengths as a human being is just that I'm a very open, empathetic person. So I find it really easy to talk to people, both about my personal experiences in the past, like getting tested, going through things, but also listening to other people and really understanding what their issues are. So one of the things that we try to do with our workshops and our community outreach is try to normalize things, but I also do try to let people know that if you do get an STI, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
It's really just one more infection, one more strep throat, one more cold that you get in life. And, such as HIV or herpes, maybe it's not curable, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
You might just have a few more roadblocks, a few more things that might, kind of get in the way of leading a healthy life, but it's not a big deal. And so many other people in the world have it, are dealing with it, are leading happy, healthy lives. One of the things that always shocks students is that 80% of adults have some form of herpes, and it's not curable. And I feel like herpes is one of the most discussed, stigmatized STIs out there, even though it's really just nothing, basically.
An outbreak here, and then
it's over, and most people have it. Most people get it from their friends and family. I talked to a physician here once who said that if you live with somebody for more than 5 years, even if you're not sexually intimate with them, that you'll still probably get herpes just from living in the same space as them. And that is how most people get herpes, is just from their family members. And it's not a big deal. Most people don't even know that they have it. But understanding that other people do have anxieties about that and being empathetic towards them, and understanding that we're not all at the same place, being comfortable with ourselves, our sexuality, our health statuses. It's definitely something that we stress in sexual health peers, just being open with people and understanding that maybe they are being a little close-minded or judgmental, but that there's a reason for that and that we can help them get through it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go ahead and transition to our next topic in the peers.
So the sexual health peers is, like I described earlier, just a group where students come together. We teach each other about sexual health. We do have a pre-McKinley approved curriculum, so that we make sure everything we teach is accurate, although sometimes we are updating the curriculum with more accurate information and things like that.
Gotta stay on top of it.
Yeah. We have other peer education programs at McKinley. We have the stress management peers. I think there's also nutrition.
And these are all student ran and
Yeah, and these are all student run. They all have an advisor like Kate, but really we are student run. We really do determine the course of what we do. The students are the ones who teach the workshops. The advisor mostly just acts as kind of like a McKinley liaison, so that I guess they can keep an eye on us and make sure we're doing everything all right. I've been in the peers for 2.5 years now, the president for a semester, but it's incredible getting to meet students in the group who are really passionate about sexual health, go out into the community and educate and empower people, meeting all the people on campus like Kate and our former advisor Kim Rice, who are really passionate about helping younger generations, younger people progress and take control of their sexuality. And it's a really great place to just go and learn more. We try to learn new things every single meeting. We try to put together new trainings about body positivity, talking about porn. I'm working on a boob workshop where we're talking about bra sizing, taking care of your breasts, things like that you might not learn from a formal place, but that
Or that one-time sex ed class.
Well, yeah.
yeah,
Or not had.
when I got shown a picture of like gonorrhea and
this is it, don't do it, okay?
yeah, exactly. So
And I think the cool thing about being on a college campus, despite being a state college, is that we do have some freedom to explore those things, right? Like, and you may finally be away from a home community that you can explore those things about yourself and your body and different parts of sexuality. So
I know I definitely took advantage of that. Like I took clear advantage of that because I didn't lose my virginity till I was like 22, and that's okay to talk about. That's okay to talk about because we're human, right? We have sex. But I lost my virginity at 22, and I didn't know a thing about sex. Oh my god! Like I knew I liked girls and guys, but I lost my virginity to a woman, and then I later on like, okay, well maybe I try talking to a guy and see what happens, and then that happened, and I was just like, okay, those were great experiences, but like, what do you do now? Like I didn't, like I knew like you have to have protection, but I didn't know that in the realm of being with a guy. Like you can still catch an STD, you can get HIV, you can get things that will stick with you for life. Like, and I think at the time when I got in college, I didn't have that mentorship or that education until about my 3rd year. And we have a program at EIU called Rubber Lovers. And so
is that for like gimp suits or for like? Because that's what
I can see that. I can see that.
Is that for condom
but
promotion?
No, yeah, it's like sex education course where, man, I wish I had this 2 years ago because then I would have like been more. I guess I would have had more second thoughts when it came to having sex with other men or with women and just being like, okay, how do I talk about this and feel comfortable talking about it? Because growing up, I didn't really announce that I was bisexual or into men, and that was a difficult thing. And I feel like that could be difficult for a lot of people sometimes too, where they don't really have that sense of support or openness.
That's the name of our game, is to try and make sure that people have that information, whether it's at whatever point in their sexual journey, whether it's the first time, new partner, making sure that they have the information to protect themselves, to make the choices that are right for them. And I think the cool thing about the workshops and our tabling and all the outreach that we do is think in addition to trying to always be super inclusive, it's always an option. So if someone just needs to attend the workshop and observe, like they don't have to actively participate, they're still going to get something out of it, whether they're, depending on where their comfort level is. So even with tabling, right, like it's always an option for them to participate.
Each of them is about an hour long. There's a set of activities in them, and they all have different curriculums. So like I mentioned before, what's hot, what's not focus is more on safe sex, improving your sex life. What are we is about healthy relationships. It's really more of a discussion-based workshop versus what's hot, what's not. You talk about your own personal needs in a relationship, what you find comfortable, what you want in a relationship. That one's much more personal. Wasted sex, we usually just table, so we'll get requested to go to an event and just be there to talk about what sex under the influence is like or what you should be careful of. We usually bring drunk goggles, a phallus, and condoms, and ask people to put the drunk goggles on and put the condom on the phallus with the drunk goggles on. But we...
I bet does anyone ever succeed in that?
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
People,
but it is hard.
Some people do it like faster than I can do it. Just like
Yeah, the guy.
So,
Yeah, because I remember.
I think some people can like defeat the drunk goggles.
goggles.
Like they're like
They're
this
too
doesn't
powerful.
really happen. Yeah.
Willpower.
Yeah, people are.
But it really
good
helps
at
them to think about like, oh yeah, wait a second, like you have to think about it more, right? Like you have to take into consideration the way your brain is changing.
I'm gonna say that I think we do amazing work at McKinley, and McKinley Health Center actually is amazing. I know from talking about people like grad student friends that I've had, they know from past experiences at other universities that McKinley Health Center is actually really great compared to other university health centers. I just wish that we could get out there more. A lot of students that we talk to, even the ones who are really interested in sexual health and things like that, a lot of them don't even know that you can get free condoms. So imagine all the other things they don't know, all the other resources that they don't know.
Like, hey,
even family
you know?
members, it's really tricky. So like if somebody comes with their family, we can't serve their family members, but we work with other organizations and partners in the community that can serve them at a similar low cost, almost
so
free
kind of
cost.
utilizing other resources kind of help the other.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So it's good for students. There's some limitations when it comes to kind of family members and other community members, but that's why we have partners that we work with.
But some things are specialized for young people, like you said, like STI testing here is so fast and easy because it's so routine. It's like, I don't know what actual percentage it is of what they do, but it's very common, and so it's very expeditious process. Some of the providers vary on how judgmental or positive they are. Shout out to Bryn Schuler, she's the best. But you don't have to go to your pediatrician and say like, I want to get tested, and then have to go through.
Or maybe under your
process.
family's insurance.
Yeah,
They're kind of
exactly.
concerned, like, oh God, they may find out, type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a great asset for students. So not only the free condoms and lube and latex barriers like
So I was going to say, get back to the promotion,
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
Don't forget that part.
So another, these are all under the McKinley bubble, but in McKinley we have the Health Resource Center, so students can just walk in, no appointment necessary. They do need their iCard, which every student gets here.
Okay.
And they can get external condoms, latex barriers, lubes, spermicidal gel, yeast infection kits, pregnancy tests.
Wow.
Cold
kits, sleep
wound
kits,
care
wound
kit.
care.
Y'all hear this?
It's
You
a
guys
lot.
hear this?
It is
a
a
lot of
lot.
good stuff here.
We are here for you.
Yes.
Yeah, seriously.
So students need to stop here at McKinley. Are there other resources or other spots maybe that they can go to kind of get information about what McKinley does?
We didn't even pay him
Or do
to
you,
ask
excuse me?
that question.
What a great question. So McKinley has satellite locations where they can pick up these kits and things.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Satellite
see, I told you.
locations.
They're in space.
They are in
Their
space.
locations on campus.
No, they're on campus, but
There's
because
one by a Wendy's though. That's almost like space.
true, Wendy's is top tier technological advancement. But because we do, we are in the middle of a cornfield, so our campus is pretty expansive. So it can be hard for people to get to McKinley. I remember when I was a freshman, I was sick once, and I thought about coming to McKinley, and I was like, no way, I'm going all the way across campus.
Yeah.
So the union, which is, you know, kind of a central hub, is on the quad. They carry all of our cold care, condoms, things. The LGBTQ Resource Center also has them, especially for people who might feel more comfortable interacting with people that they know are more in tune with their needs. We also have the kids at a few of the cultural houses, like La Casa, which is the Latin American cultural house. I'm not sure about the other ones, but we do work with La Casa a lot, so I know that we have a great relationship with them.
They're actually at all 4 of our cultural houses.
The Bruce D. Nesbitt African American House, Native American, Asian American, and La Casa.
There you go.
You heard it. You heard it first.
Yeah.
So you know where you can go if you need some help with anything from a cold, common cold, to the flu, just getting an STI or STD checkup, or yeast infection, anything of that nature. A lot of great things. Are you guys kind of like partnering with any organizations currently?
We occasionally work with our local chapter of Planned Parenthood, which is on campus. A lot of people don't know that. We do have a Planned Parenthood.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
We have a Planned Parenthood right behind County Market.
Yes.
Yes. And they do provide us with supplies like the internal condoms that Kate mentioned earlier. But really, we're kind of on our own for the most part. We do network with a lot of groups, talk to other groups on campus, and just within the greater community. But
what about the condoms we went from Trojan all the time?
I did.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug for me and my essay writing abilities is Trojan does have an annual campaign called the Great American Condom Campaign.
Oh.
Where, yes,
Yeah.
which I think
Yeah.
sounds.
Not a great
Oh, yeah, that's not
it
a great.
sounds kind of dirty too. I think.
It sounds like that's to be. Oh, I got the gag, girl.
That's why you better be getting the condoms.
Maybe that's the new.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
yeah, Trojan. Actually, you're going on the
yes.
Trojan campaign.
So there are, companies that are interested in promoting safe sex and of course their own brand, but we will take those resources as we can get them. But we did just win 500 condoms from Trojan that will be mailed to our apartment.
Come by our apartment and get condoms. That's another. We're a satellite McKinley location.
Yes, and so we will be distributing those on campus somehow.
Where at, if you don't mind sharing? You got like specific locations, or you're just kind of walking around with boxes of condoms?
McKinley has condoms that they have, the McKinley condoms that they distribute freely to students. We as sexual health peers, we have our own supply of condoms, so we kind of have to worry about the inventory there and keeping it in any capacity, because we do try to give out condoms as much as we can, even if people, aren't going to use them. People say that to us all the time, like, oh, I'm not going to use them, or I don't use those, or whatever. I always just say, maybe you'll have a friend.
Yeah.
Or something, it's always better safe than sorry.
I volunteer at an organization over in Peoria, and we go to different high schools, and we like talk about sex education, HIV, and like
That's awesome.
one of like the kids always like, oh, I don't eat that. I'm not having sex, or like I don't eat that because like I won't feel it. And I'm just like, well, maybe you're not sexually active, but you may know someone who is. So take this bag of goodies.
Yeah.
Learn how to like properly use a condom, use and lube.
Even like open it, experiment with
Yeah.
it, feel with it, right?
Yeah.
Get used to it.
That's
Yeah.
right,
And so there's some of them are just like they get red and they kind of like walk away or something. Just
Yeah.
like, okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
That's one of the most common responses, especially on Quad Day, which is our day on campus where freshmen kind of get to go around and all the different clubs and sports and
That is neat.
whatever's go on the quad and try to promote themselves. And I stand out there and I yell, let's talk about sex, come get some free condoms. And because it's mostly freshmen attending Quad Day, we do get an especially high number of like, I don't use those, or I don't know what you're talking about. What, sex? Who? Me? No.
So the parents were like, this is not. I didn't plan this, Mom.
There are
This is not
parents
gonna happen.
occasionally, and that is always fun.
And you wrote them in.
They're just
We
like,
actually, sometimes
are you having sex?
we do get older people that come up, and it's kind of a toss-up whether or not they say something really weird to us about how what we're doing is bad. But other times, one time we had this man who was probably in his 80s, and he was just staring at our table for like 5 minutes, and I thought he was really gonna say something. And he came up and he just said, you know, I think what you're doing is really great. I have a granddaughter that's just starting to go to college, and, you know, with sexual assault and STIs being so prevalent, I think it's amazing that you're talking about it and educating people. And my little heart was touched.
Oh.
Yeah, and like, this is the sweetest old
Awesome.
man that's ever existed.
It takes like those little small victories, like
Yeah,
everything
exactly.
else, like, then this is why I do it, because
Yeah,
you know he's not directly like affected by this, but took it upon
You know,
himself.
he really
to, like,
cares,
yeah,
yeah.
he cared about this. Really like wanted to show support. And
Mhm.
thank you for doing this.
yeah, absolutely.
So our goal is to make sure that we always have condoms and lube, ideally too, with us, like everywhere we go. So if we're at a tabling, if we're at a workshop, if we're at a guest lecture, like anywhere we go, again, to try and normalize. But
Yeah.
I'm really laughing because my case manager like pulled out some like condoms and
Yeah.
things that I person. I'm like, sis, what are you doing? What do you think I do in my free time? She's like, you never know. You never know. Just take
Exactly.
it.
I have a button on my backpack that says I have condoms, and nobody has ever asked,
What?
but
That is such a
Just
great
in case.
conversation opener too. They kind of like talk about like why you have this button. on your
yeah,
backpack.
I agree. Our club shirts, at least our old ones, we don't know what we're doing yet, but they just say, let's talk about sex on the back. And it's a great conversation starter
Yeah.
because people want to talk about sex. You know, it's taboo and there's a lot of stigma, but it's exciting and fun to talk about. You know, there's a reason it's in the media, it's in porn, people talk about it, gossip about it with their friends. People love talking about sex.
About an STD or an STI, but also people who are affected by sexual assault. Do you have cases that kind of come into here, and how do you guys kind of handle navigating that, especially when we're like now in that Me Too era and everyone's kind of like, you know, this has happened to me and I shouldn't feel ashamed, I shouldn't feel deterred about talking about it. How are you guys kind of taking in those problems and challenges and kind of making solutions?
yeah, so unfortunately it is a problem and a challenge for not only students but us as well. But the good news is that no matter where you come at McKinley to get services, there's going to be someone that can like walk with you. So fun fact about McKinley is that we have a women's health unit as well as a mental health unit,
Okay.
in addition to like our health education and medical clinics that we've talked about.
Yeah.
So students might come in for STI testing as a result of an assault or, you know, a sexually violent situation. They may come in for mental health counseling in crisis or not in crisis. They may come in for general, you know, questions about sex ed. Do I need to get tested? Do I need to have a physical exam? They may come into the women's health unit, again, to have a physical exam. So no matter where they come into McKinley, you know, they're able to kind of get the support that they need. Again, going back to kind of the plus of partners is there's a lot of resources on campus. So Women's Resources Center on campus is fabulous at responding to and helping survivors of sexual assault and sexual violence situations. Our counseling center, our mental health unit here at McKinley can help respond whether you need short-term or a little bit more long-term counseling.
Is there a number that students can call if like they don't want to like stop in the office because they're too afraid or just kind of dealing with so much that they can't really step outside of the house? Is there a number that they can contact?
Yep, so we have a 24/7 dial-a-nurse, which is available at 217-333-2700. That's right.
Put that
Right?
5 in there, Dion. Don't
That's
forget.
not my phone number, so I had to think about it. But yeah, we have a dial-a-nurse 24/7 available. We're here Monday through Saturday, 8 to 5:30, most regular business hours. But there's another organization, RACES, in the community as well.
Which is the Rape Advocacy Counseling and Education
Services. Yes,
Wow.
thank you. They also have a 24-hour hotline.
Yeah, and they're great.
Yeah.
One of our former peers volunteered with them a lot, and the training that they do and the work that they do is amazing.
They
The
have-
dial-a-nurse
yeah.
is more general.
What should I
it's
do?
broader. You know, if you know, I had a kidney infection once, and I called, and I was like, should I go to the ER?
Yeah.
And that's more the scale that they work on. But RACES, they have people that are trained to help counsel through survivors and things that they might be feeling, and you know what an appropriate thing to say to them might be. You know, because it is such a sensitive subject, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't know how to talk about it.
They have actually trained advocates at races, and it's a person that could even come with you to McKinley. So if you needed to have a physical exam or you needed to have STI testing as a result, they could actually come and like walk with you through that experience. Even if you have to go to a family physician or an ER, right? Like they have, if you call that 24-hour hotline, there's somebody that can come and again be that person to kind of walk with you. And,
That's amazing.
Yeah, they do great work.
Just wanted to touch on the disability thing.
Yes, please.
Yeah, because we got into the sexual assault thing. But U of I at Urbana-Champaign is one of the most internationally known for being accessible for people with disabilities. And at the Sexual Health Peers, we also do our best to be inclusive and understanding of people who might have both physical and invisible disabilities. Me, myself, I have depression. I'm on antidepressants. So I understand that, and I always do my best to kind of throw that in there just real quick so that people know that I'm just a regular human too that has my own problems, but I'm still, out there talking about sexuality, and that doesn't preclude you from having a happy sex life, whatever that may look like. So we do always do our best, and we are trying to update our curriculum with things that are more inclusive for people who might not be as able-bodied or who might not have all.
Or even desires, right?
Or even
If
desires,
they're-
yeah.
I may have,
If they're struggling with an invisible disability, right, and they maybe are struggling with desires or changes with medication, like, trying to represent those in our education or in our counseling as well. So.
And we do always say in our workshops, obviously we are very sex positive, and I'm, always pretty out there with my own sexuality and who I am, but we do always say that if you don't want to have sex, or you're waiting, or you just aren't interested, that's okay, and that's normal and healthy too.
Yeah.
We never want people to be uncomfortable or feel like there's something wrong with them because, being asexual or having a low sex drive, those are all normal.
So is there a specific peer group aim to help people who have invisible or physical disabilities?
We do have special populations.
I'm not sure how much work they do with disability though. I think our DRES office is probably the closest. They worked with our previous sex educator here at McKinley, Kim Rice, and they wrote some really amazing kind of like columns, blog pieces, and they're called Sexability basically, and Sexability. And those are still housed there on the DRES website for students who are at U of I will know DRES. But also fun and great for anybody to read with any level of ability. I think it's always good to be aware of to be inclusive and to be understanding of what sex can look like for people, anywhere on the spectrum of ability, physical or mentally.
Can't go alone, we go together.
Yeah. Want to join Sexual Health Peers?
Yeah, if you want to join Sexual Health
Yeah, you did a pitch.
Yeah. Yo, come join Sexual Health Peers, because we're cool, we're hip with the kids.
We are.
We heard this over here, like, we do all this good stuff. We teach workshops. We teach you how to teach workshops. And talk about fun stuff at meetings. Not just scheduling, but actual other fun stuff. I'm about to do my own lecture on outer course coming up. I signed up for February 6th, and I plan to do that. And
You have to do that.
You have to do that.
He's
The boss says so.
I have to do it, and I'm planning for it.
Cool.
I don't think there's really a difference.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Kate. Thank you so much, Sophia. Thank you, Tommy, Gary, Devin, Nathan.
Nathan Drake.
Nathan Drake. His actual name is Thomas, but Tommy.
My actual name is Thomas John Tate. You're at your service. All right, let's get started. What are we talking about today?
Thank you guys for watching. Again, if you haven't subscribed or liked my video, please share. I am Dusty Lion, and this is
Kate.
Sophia.
Tommy.
And thank you so much for joining us today. Again, like and subscribe. And as always, you guys stay hopeful and victory. Bye.